What was the most satisfying role that you had in a particular job? And you can't say, you have to pick one. So
Okay.
you have to pick one particular one. What was the most satisfying one?
Can I say catering? No.
Manuel, I'm from the Postcreditscene podcast.
Hi, Manuel.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm perfectly fine. Hope your day is going well. I hope it hasn't been too stressful, too long.
No, it's a privilege to. I'm not used to being able to talk to so many foreign media about a Mexican show. Like this is this tremendous opportunity. So I'm grateful for it.
Yeah, thank you. And I'm grateful for you having me and giving me your time to speak to you about this. And even just to quickly touch on that in terms of having, I guess, media outside of Mexico having their eyes on such an important show. I would say I think it's a very important show and a very important topic. How does that make you feel in terms of bringing such a story to the world?
Well, it's sort of like it's as if you were in a family meeting and you sort of say like this big family secret. On one level, you're kind of afraid of how your family will look because this secret is now in the open. And on the other end, there's great relief that this is gonna start a conversation that's gonna probably make your family better. So in a way, to express the violence against women in Mexico, to express certain elements of the relationship between the government and the people, between men and women, and this first female police department that was fooled into thinking that they were going to be part of a real police force when really it was a publicity stunt to distract people from a serial killer, which in reality, the true story is that it was intended to be a distraction from the 1968 student massacre that took the lives of 350 students. And I think in that sense, there's a great pride in me as a Mexican person to share this story, but it's also sharing things that I recognize that won't make Mexico look in the best possible light, but in a necessary light to create change.
Well, I think that it's a very, very important show because a lot of the topics that we touch in the show in terms of what women have to go through in their work lives and personal lives are still something that happen a lot today. Even though the show is set, 50 years ago, there's still a lot of things that haven't changed, and they reflect on what it's like to be a woman that wants to break free from the mold and the expectations of what society sometimes has for women. So I definitely think that makes this show very important and very relevant. For me, working in the show was just an amazing experience, not only for the importance of telling this story, personally also the challenge of portraying a woman who's autistic, which is also, was a big challenge, and especially at a time where that diagnosis didn't exist. That was challenging, and just getting to know my friends, my colleagues, and learning from them as amazing actresses and women was just beautiful.
For me, it was very inspiring. The story of these women that we didn't know about them, and it's very important for me as an actress as well to tell stories that can give something to society, give something to reflect on, especially when we are telling a story that happens more than 50 years ago, and we still have a lot of things that haven't changed that much, that we can change, and then we can reflect, and then we can push the things to live in a better world, and more fair for women and men, and find true equality in this machista sociedad, society of machismo. So very important for me to be part of it.
Lo que queremos que se lleven
what we want people to take away
Well, first of all, it's a part of contemporary history of Mexico, but particularly the history of women fighting to open the path to equality, to social advancement. So we want to help sensitize this because in Mexico there are still many cases of femicide, and so we thought like perhaps if we present the history, the story of these women, putting names and everything, putting name and faces to this, and this is not just numbers, figures in the news. So we want people to be aware of this, that women have been fighting for for equality, for their rights for many years. And so I think we would like to see more fiction where female characters are this powerful and they are going after a valuable, bigger cause.
Perfect. Thank you very much. I commend you guys for taking on such an important role. I want to talk about you guys as characters, as individuals. How did you portray the characters that you are in the show, and how did you find portraying them?
Pues Gavina, yo creo que
Gavina,
lo primero que pensé cuando
the first thing I thought was, how am I gonna play? Let me use that term. I said, okay, I would do it with absolute truth, because again, that's what acting is about in the end of the day. I think the character,
cuando empieza a tocar, a sentir a las mujeres, a sus compañeras
when
azules,
she starts getting in touch with her colleagues, with the other women in blue, she starts realizing that everything she had been dreaming of was fine, was okay. She was always in fear to face her father.
ya quiero ser policía.
She said she wanted to be a police officer. It was not that she was close to everything. So I think that when I see it, it's like, wow, it's really nice when she starts mirroring herself in the other police officers. So for me, that was Gavina. Gavina meant going out and finding other women who are like her, although they are different from her. But the commonality are dreams.
Perfect, thank you. And how about you, Natalia?
Afrontar a Valentina era como un desahogo
Facing
para mí.
Valentina was, for me, it was great for me, because in my wildest dreams, I've been like Valentina. I've always been this woman who wants to shout out and say rock and roll, sex freedom. It is like demonstrations, everything, revolution, party, everything. And when I was thinking of Valentina, I was thinking of those times in my life when I've been seeking and when I've been demanding this freedom for me, and how happy I am when I see people pushing for their freedom, but basically for their freedom to be who they want to be and not to justify, not to seek approval from any other people on what they think, what they do. So it was a matter of freedom, but at the same time, authenticity. And she is sadly in a world in which we are still 50 years down the road. You have to be there, you have to be in an eternal war, waging war with society, because freedom oftentimes, sadly, is not something we can get. This is something we have to fight for.
So you wear many hats within this project. Obviously, you co-created it. You also produced it, wrote it, and directed it. That's quite a lot of stuff to do. You must have been very busy. What was the most satisfying role that you had in a particular job? And you can't say, you have to pick one. So
Okay.
you have to pick one particular one. What was the most satisfying one?
Can I say catering? No. I think what I always find most rewarding is directing. Just being on set, because I value the writing tremendously, but I love how, in this case, I really did find the characters with the actresses and the actors on set. And I think that there's so much of Natalia in Valentina, there's so much of Bárbara in Maria, so much of Angeles so much of Ximena and Angeles in Amorita and Gavina, and also the male characters. I mean, I think I managed to find these things in this co-creative environment that is the film set. So I mean, if I had to lose everything, and I can only keep one, I would be on the set all day.
Thank you again for your time. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and congratulations on the series. I'm sure it's going to be a success. I enjoyed watching it, and yeah, have a good day, guys.